Hey everyone, let's say you have $10 million that you want to give away to charity. You pick a charity, donate the money, but later you find out that only 2.5 million of the 10 million actually ended up in the hands of the intended recipients. Would you or would you not ever give to that charity again? Chances are you'd never dream of giving to them again. Well, thankfully, no charity in the US has such a terrible record. However, that is exactly how the breakdown would look if you gave that $10 million to welfare programs run by the government. You would find that of your $10 million, $7.5 million were lost in high administrative costs, red tape, bureaucracy, and overbloated overhead. With a legitimate charity, on average, you would find the exact opposite. About $2.5 million of your dollars would be lost in administrative costs, and $7.5 million would end up in the hands of the intended recipients. That means that for every $1 billion given to private charities in the US, the government has to tax and spend $3 billion just to catch up with private charities. So the reason why I feel this is important is twofold. Number one, it's just yet another example of how the government is next to nothing compared to private industry in terms of cost effectiveness and efficiency. Secondly, and frankly more importantly, this is a reality that every statist needs to understand. When a statist points a finger at a libertarian and proclaims them as greedy, callous, and indifferent to the plight of the poor, we can point a finger right back at them and criticize their line of reasoning that involves having a defunct organization such as the government be in charge of helping the poor. If they were truly serious about helping those in need, they would never mention raising taxes for welfare again, considering how wasteful the government is when waging the so-called war on poverty. Now, I admit that what I'm about to say is anecdotal evidence, but on occasion I will give to GoFundMe donation drives for people I barely know that send out a link on social media, and it's always great to see that their goals are usually either met or close to being met on a fairly consistent basis. Given this reality, how can someone argue that those who are in need must have the government to support them when GoFundMe is such a great example of the naturally generous way in which people seem to behave? In fact, I'd wager that people would donate much more money if they weren't taxed so heavily and if they didn't have that brainwashed thought that they don't need to give because Father Government is taking care of all those around me. Thanks, and that's all for tonight. Bye.